Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the Rio Major approaching us in just a little over a week's time, so too will lies, deception, market manipulation, and of course corruption go alongside that. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing how to prevent this stuff from happening to you, prevent you from losing money, getting scammed, and listening to BS content. I myself have been making YouTube videos for a little over 2 years, at least in the CSGO scene, and also have been investing into Counter-Strike since 2017. And I'd like to say I've had some very successful investments. But with that, you obviously have some bad ones as well. That, of course, being majors. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and, of course, subscribe. And before we hop into today's commentary on how to prevent getting scammed essentially from the Rio Major, here's a quick word from our video sponsor, SkinsMonkey. Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade. So I made a very similar video just a few months ago with the Antwerp Major approaching us, and it ended up helping quite a few people. So I hope to do the exact same with today's video going into the Rio Major. Jesus once said, trust the numbers, not your gut. Wise words from a very wise man. And that goes a very long way, especially with CSGO investing, and it's going to correlate well in today's video. So we'll be looking at some pros, some cons, but most importantly, some warning signs and some bad news that, of course, you can prevent from happening. So the first thing I want to discuss is, of course, other content creators on the platform, but not just YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Reddit as well. There are many different ways to manipulate the market for CSGO, just like any other market. Now, it's pretty easy to spot someone who's just bullshitting their way through stuff, but sometimes it's just not easy. Especially when something like the Rio Major is upon us, they might downplay some scenarios for, of course, their advantage. So that being said, if a YouTuber or any influencer, for an example, on an article, whatever, tells you to invest in a certain sticker or a certain capsule, especially earlier on, that's the first red flag and very bad news. You'll have multiple people, especially influencers, telling you what to buy and, of course, when to buy. So you really have to trust your numbers and your gut. Next thing is a very hard truth that I plan on making a video on later this week, but these next major stickers, I hate to break it to you, and really anything going forward is never going to turn out like Katowice 2014, or really any successful sticker investment, for multitudes of different reasons. With the very high player count in CSGO, things are becoming harder to invest in. Some say it's near impossible. Well, that year has, of course, been proven wrong. Just this year itself. Just this year has proven that statement wrong. But they're not really wrong about majors inside of Counter-Strike. As it goes for an investment going into the Rio Major, of course, comparing it to Cato 14, supply is obviously not everything. I mean, you look at Stockholm 2021, has transparent backgrounds, good stickers, good holo effects, but most importantly, a very low quantity, but that doesn't necessarily mean the price tag is going to be high. With investing, you should also take a look at the past, kind of a blast from the past, at the past 3 majors inside of Counter-Strike. Now, no one really considers RMR a major, but obviously it has very important stickers, important being they end up being horrible as an investment. Then you have Stockholm, which ended up being very good and could be good in the future because of its low supply. And then, of course, you have Antwerp, Stockholm's little brother. And the only problem with that is the little logo at the bottom is a little bigger, but also on top of that is the very high supply and oversaturation of these things. That's where I think personally the next major stickers are going to be going. Even if they look good, they look bad, or they're mixed all around the community. Next up is a pretty interesting and very good tip. And this, of course, is to go in as late as possible if you decide to invest into the Rio Major. So if it's looking good and you trust the numbers and, of course, your gut with this said major, wait to the latest second, if that's even possible for you. Because obviously it's very hard to tell and know when Valve is making an update since they're such a mysterious company. The things you can look out for are simple as in CSGO update, essentially that. You see, with the Antwerp Major, we received the update for matchmaking where it fixed all the ranks, but at the little bottom part of it, a lot of people didn't really go over it, but it seems to be people did overall because no one talked about it. That's how it seemed at first. And of course, it stated it was actually going to get removed, the 75% off sticker sale, at a certain date, a week from that specific update. A lot of overall market hype, which was not good for Antwerp. Now, Antwerp at the time, sure, wasn't looking great, but definitely would not be at the place it is right now if they didn't make that update. Essentially, that made everyone FOMO and panic buy into Antwerp that probably wouldn't have otherwise, and that created a very large supply. And speaking of supply, and really ever since storage units came out, it's been increasingly difficult to predict the future, especially for CSGO major investing, alongside with cases and whatever. Because what happens is you have random people coming in, buying 1,000 capsules, throwing them away in a storage unit, naming them something completely different, like G.I. Joe. You don't know what's in there. 3 years later, they're still cheap. Maybe they go up a bit. Someone drops all their capsules off on the market, same with the 500 other people that did the exact same thing, and boom, the supply is up once again. Now, does that actually happen? Probably not, but it's just kind of something to keep in mind. The second to last thing up is something very important as well. It's a pretty obvious one, but some people need to be reminded, and that of course is to not go all in. Like I said earlier, this is not going to be the next Katowice 2014. It's not copium, it's just how it is. The money you put into this next major, or any major to be exact, if it's the current one, it's very obviously high in demand, very high in supply of course, you have to know that you probably won't see that money for the next 5 years, and you have to be very okay with that. So if you're hoping to get a quick buck, a major investment is not the way to go. Look at cases, look at older stickers, look at older skins, or a play skins investment. Majors, especially the current ones, are not a get-rich-quick guide. Nothing is in life, especially Counter-Strike. Those never work. Things are not like the past. This is the present. More people than ever have been playing, but most importantly, investing into CSGO as well. This isn't to scare you off, it's just the reality of the entire situation, especially with CSGO. So my best tips and advice overall for today's video is to be very careful when looking at different CSGO YouTubers. Especially someone just comes up out of the blue, starts recommending stuff, be very careful on that. Number 2, go in as late as possible. Number 3, trust the numbers, not your gut. But in some situations, trust both. Hopefully that helped you guys invest into the next CSGO major, give you some tips and advice people probably wouldn't have given you otherwise. These are common mistakes I see everyone make every single year, especially the part where people think these are going to be the next Cato 14 stickers. Now, I have a whole video coming out later this week on that, but the reality is Cato 14 and a lot of these other majors weren't considered investments until recently. And that's, of course, a video for another time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.